Hey guys, welcome back to Rocket Motorsport here with another video. Sorry this is so late coming out, but you know what, when you've got COVID going around and all that, and I've had to self-isolate my dad for 10 days, it is what it is. When I get this video up and going, it's good to go. As you see here though, a couple of drivers hitting the wall. There's another one there by G-Barkster, who is sadly also leaving the league. Thought I would shout that one out as we look at him through there. It's and his teammate Max Turing getting that completely wrong through the little corner there. I can't remember the names of any of these corners, so let's go with it. Grift SLR almost loses the car out that corner as well as he goes into that right hand. I can't remember any of these names. This is really annoying me actually. Anyway, looks like this is a good lap by G-Barkster and he gets held up by a Red Bull there. I feel bad, but I don't know who the Red Bull was at the time, and now we've got to move on with it as he's left the league. Anyway, as into the wall goes into Lagos. Was red on his Delta and lap anyway, but you gotta send it no matter what. Got him fast with the fast lap of the day with an extremely good lap there. With Tomcat, I think he's a championship leader in P5. Don't know, but Gordon fast with this pole position. Crashed out of Spain in a few other rounds. Let's see if Golden Fast can get a win here today at Monaco Grand Prix. In P2 is Joe Pilkey, in P3 is Young House. Mega Centurion coming up in P4. P5 failing Tomcat. P6 for Wire in the Haas. P7 for the Red Bull driver of Stealth. P8 is the G-Barkster in the Renault. With P9 going to Utah Elephant in the Ferrari. P10 for Caesar 2 Wizard in another Williams driver. You know, good to see them back. As in the racing point is Harrison. Welcome back, Harrison. Hope you enjoy this race, buddy. Interlagos has also the next one up as Crimson, Grifter, and Chris 12 FLC have all been disqualified for the formation lap. Good job, guys. You'd love to see it. And spoiler alert, a couple of those DNF in the race. You know, so Furious dudes after that. After that, in the Mercedes is man JJ and Gunner Gamer rounding up the field. But it's all about this man, Golden Fast. What can he do from the P1? And the whole shot, maybe. We'll see how it goes for him. Here we go then for the Grifter SLR POV. Thought it would go something different here, as he is the interesting shot here. But the fire red lights going on, and away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix on board with Grifter. And he's got an interesting helmet design in the Mercedes. He gets an alright to start here. He's got Crimson on his right hand side here. He's got to watch Interlagos coming into the here. He's hit the wall, and he's always hit Crimson as well. And now, oh, that's a terrible start there for Grifter SR. And now above Chris, and he's had some contact there with Fivius and it's given Chris some penalties there. Now on the safety car restart on lap 3, it's all happening here. This is unbelievable stuff. Golden Fast, can he possibly do something good here with his whole shot? And it looks like he had, well, whole shot. Yeah, he had the whole shot going into turn 1. He's led every lap since, so he's started his way off pretty much pretty well. Meanwhile, further back, we've got some interesting things going on here, as I think Chris has got some damage there from his front wing. And, yeah, I don't know what's happened to Chris there. Should we have a look at his on-board? We'll look at his on-board in a minute. Let's just see how this race folds out for a minute or two, though. As, Mega Centurion, P3, but even more exciting that Young House in the Alfa Romeo is in P2. Remember, this is a realistic league. He's done a superb job to get that Alfa Romeo into P2 so far in this race. Let's see how far it lasts for him though, because I know that Renault driver of Mega Centurion is not going to hold back and go for a move at any point in this Monaco circuit. On board with Chris though, with the safety car, this is what happened to him. He's just being absolutely rammed by Gunner Gamer 3 times in the rear there. Chris getting a penalty. At this point, he's just pressed pause, and then Gunner Gamer puts Chris in the wall. What a disaster for Chris there, and it wasn't his fault. It ended up not even being Gunner Gamer's fault. There's lag involved, something like that, I don't know. But Stealth dive bombing a why there. Nice move by Stealth. And up the inside goes G-Barkster through the left-hander at the Monaco Grand Prix. Great move by them, indeed, in this race. Caesar 2 is just chilling in the points. P10 for him at the moment, with Interlagos in behind Gunner Gamer, who was a bit controversial in that last bit, but it turns out to be lag. But just talk about Caesar in the points. He just had a huge spin or moment there. I don't know what happened there. We'll see if Caesar will pit at the end of this lap. I don't know if he will or not. And he will come into the pits. That's bad news for Caesar's Grand Prix in this early on as well. And lap 6, already pitting. I see interesting strategy going on there from him. I mean, he has got damage, he has no choice. But we'll see how it goes from up the inside goes Gunner Gamer on the Red Bull driver. Nice move there as there's contact behind. And into him goes Interlagos. Oh, that is unlucky for Interlagos, but oh, and now he's hitting every wall in the impossible. But at the end of the day, that was a race against the two battling. One lit it off. There's a safety car as Chris has retired from the race in the pit lane, I believe. I don't know why we've got a safety car. Maybe Chris retired on the track, but I don't know. But either way, we've got a safety car out. Now, let's go for the safety car restart on lap 8. Gordon Fast is pitted. Remember that information. Also, House pitted. Remember that information. Stuart Pilkey, who hasn't pitted, is now winning the way on the soft compound tyre. Remember that information, because that is soft compound tyre ain't going to last very long at all in this race. So, there you go. Safety car in this lap. And that was a late decision by the safety car. I was not expecting that. I don't think any of the drivers were at all. But Joe Pilkey gets away then out of the final corner. Pretty much does that to perfection. With his teammate P2 failing Tomcat. Not really gone with him here, but the two of them have absolutely disappeared from Stealth and P3, who is going to have that chasey and quick drive with Gordon Fast right behind him the whole race now. Well, until he pits, that is. Or Gordon Fast goes for an overtake. Just saying, possibility at hand. As looking back, Crimson also going through turn 1 here. Any moves going on? Yes, maybe possibly Caesar going up the inside through the left-hander. He's having a look because Caesar doesn't really get the move done this time round. Though he hits the wall there on the inside, Caesar goes round the outside. Nice move from Caesar early on, getting some positions back, as there's a spin there as well. And Interlagos has retired on track. I didn't put that in the steward report. I forgot to put it in the steward report. If I remembered, then I would have given a 10-second penalty. If anyone else says in the chat after this video, because I'm going to forget again probably, then sure, we'll give them the 10 seconds. But until then, I'm just going to forget probably. That's me for you, chaps. As now, Gordon Fast all over the back of Stealth. Maybe it's thinking about an overtake there on Stealth. As further back, G-Boxster gets past Drifter. Nice move by G-Boxster. Now, who's looking for an overtake here? It's Caesar up the inside to the fast left-hander. What a move by Caesar to get that move done on Phivius. And gets the move done, and there was no way back for Phivius. He had to back out of that one, otherwise it's going to be a crash. Now look at Golden Fast round the outside there. No, it's not Golden Fast, that's Utah Elephant. Great move by Utah Elephant to get that move done. GSR Joe proving his worth already in this Grand Prix. And now here comes Golden Fast. I knew he got past Stealth eventually, and that was it. Round the outside through the fast turn, left-hander there. Nice move by Golden Fast, who then goes straight after Joe Pilkey for the lead of the Grand Prix. Dives bomb Joe Pilkey into that right-hander. Gets that move done. Great move by Golden Fast. And it looks like Crimson was disqualified for not taking his drive-through that he got onto the VSC. Crimson, it's not... If you get a drive-through up here, just take it. It's not worth disqualification. At the end of the day, I mean, he might have thought there was maybe one more extra lap in his drive-through, but there wasn't. He had to take it. He didn't take it. He's got the consequences, and he's disqualified. As the Ferrari driver of GSR Joe then behind Grifter LSR, going through this fast right-hander in the tunnel section, heading into the left-hander here. Is GSR Joe going to send it? Not quite this time. As although saying that, it's looking like all three of these guys are battling for this race this whole time. And look, it continues to lap 12, where GSR Joe is still stuck behind Grifter LSR, who is starting to give Grifter a little hurry up, bit of a push there. I mean, actually, there's quite a lot of pushing going on here at the moment. I think GSR Joe needs to calm down a tad. He's hit him again, I think. At least 4 times in the last 2 corners or whatever. But at the end of the day, we got a spinner. It's Stealth. Stealth's gone around now as well, and that is a disaster. More contact there. GSR Joe's got some contact there. Caesar's had to take to the escape road. Caesar's got a penalty from that. If he sent it in, I would have removed that penalty. But he didn't send it in, and that is that. As there's a car off. As that, see, that's Grifter. Grifter's got a penalty. Oh, Grifter's been absolutely demolished there. Nice move by Caesar to avoid all the chaos there and get a position back as well. On board with Grifter LSR, tipping it through the left-hander. You can just see that Joe just wasn't anywhere near alongside him. As a parked car off there, which was Stealth. If you remember, he spun off. I don't know how that happened. I was busy watching that battle. As now looking through the fast right-hander, nice move there by Joe Pilkey to get past Phivius. But in front of these two, it's failing Tomcat up the inside of YY. Gives YY no space at all. Forces YY off the track. If YY had sent that in, probably a penalty to Tomcat for not losing a car's width. But you know what? We're just going to go with the flow. We're not going to dish out too much. As now YY is into the wall again. And Phivius Deuce is getting quite a nice little POV of that. As Harrison going through the fast left right as well. As now up the inside goes Phivius Deuce. And look at YY there, choosing to come into the pits at the right moment rather than just like causing an incident with him and Phivius. I see Phivius' point of view, you see how it all started and how it all ended as well. Unlucky there for YY. As now more contact involved here. Is that GSR Joe who Deuce again. I don't really want to call him Deuce. We just call him Deuce for now. Even though it doesn't really sound right, we'll go with it. It's GSR Joe going up the inside of Deuce, then into the left hand. Of course he is. He's sending up the inside. Contact between the pair. As GSR Joe got penalty out of that, and there's more contact between the pair of them heading up to the right and to the left-hander. But it is GSR Joe making the move there, and that's a nice move indeed. Now, look at this. This is not going to end well at all for most of these drivers. Going through the fast right-hander. G-Buckster, he's looking all over the back of Stealth. And just pushing Stealth around the track a bit. See if he waits till the DRS straight here. Stealth gets a bad exit, which is surely going to help boost Mr. G-Bucks to get up the inside or the outsider heading into turn 1. What's he going to do? He goes up the inside of turn 1. Almost gets something done. He's side by side on the exit. It's G-Bucks with the momentum, but with an illegal overtake, I believe that one is. He had to give the position back to Stealth. And now Stealth managed to get past Phivius Deuce. I can't remember how that happened on lap 20. But we're a long time into the future now, as G-Box is still stuck behind these two drivers, heading out to the castle section of the Chevrolet. Ah, YY has retired from the Grand Prix, and into the pit stop goes Golden Fast for his last pit stop of the day, probably, with 19 laps to go. Seeing what tyre he goes onto, it's making the medium command tyre, changing his front wing and having a stop go, all in one go. See what Golden Fast could do now with that penalty being removed. What's young Howard's going to do? So that safety car's in an interesting location. And as I say that, Harrison. Let's see from Harrison's point of view what's just gone on here. Because I think he's hit the safety car. Harrison. No, Harrison has hit the safety car. Almost flipped his car. Went on its side. And Harrison's out of the Grand Prix just like that. Now, Golden Fast. He's done a few safety car restarts here today. He's going to do another one now at the last corner, then probably the last one of the day as well. As away they go for a couple more laps. Well, 10 plus laps. I can't do maths, as you saw earlier in the steward report, at least the guys did anyway. It's heading into the right hand. Someone moving out the way there. Fair enough. That was Grifter LSR, who was a lap down and 1 minute behind. Now going through the fast left-right situation going on here. Almost losing the car with GSR Joe there. Is he going to go for a move here on Stealth? Possibly into the right-hander. He's a long way behind, but you know he's always going to send it. And GSR Joe clips. He just did an absolute clerk. Bottled the rear. Is he going to get a puncher from that? He didn't. He moves on with his race. GSR Joe then on board with lap 25. That's House. House is out. House is retired from the Grand Prix. He pitted. I don't know what's happened here. As Phivius has just done exactly what GSR Joe did on the last lap and hit that inside wall. And it's basically a Charles Leclerc 2.0 from a pair of them. Great sideways action from both of them there. See what else happens in this Grand Prix then. As on board with failing Tomcat, he's got Joe Pilkey in front. Joe Pilkey looking up the inside of Mega Centurion. Great move by Joe Pilkey, who gets a penalty for that, in fact. Probably should have given that position back because of the penalty. But he's moving on his Grand Prix. He moves up into P2 now to Joe Pilkey. And now failing Tomcat, he's got to do the same rather quickly. Otherwise, there's going to be a gap forming. And that gap is forming all the time. He's already lost 2.4 seconds. And it's going up again due to Mega Centurion. Is failing Tomcat. What's he going to do? Out of this right-hander and into the tunnel section. Yes, that's the name of that section. Tunnel section. Hey, through the fast right-hander in the tunnel section. He's going to look up the inside onto the left-hander. This is a tricky place to get the move done. But you can always rely on Tomcat to get the move done round the outside as well. Fantastic stuff here from the battling of the two drivers here, giving each other plenty of space. Well done to those two drivers. More importantly, Caesar is now out the Grand Prix on lap 34. And his car, luckily for GSR Joe, has ghosted there. Otherwise, that would have been GSR Joe out the Grand Prix as well. Moving on with this race, Golden Fast still winning the advantage. But on lap 38 and 39, it's Stealth versus Mega Centurion. Probably the biggest battle going on right now, in fact. Out of this tunnel section is Stealth going to look for a move on Mega Centurion, or is Mega Centurion not really that close? But is Stealth going to go for the move here? Up the inside, into the left hand, there's contact between the pair. Stealth's got damage, Mega Centurion takes penalty, goes straight across the chicane. And here's on board from Mega Centurion's POV as he turns in. There's contact between the pair, Mega has to take the escape road. Probably a racing incident at the end of the day. It's the last lap and you send everything. Golden Fast though, at the end of the day, he sent everything and it's paid off for him. As his teammate pulls off to the inside there. I thought they were going to go side by side across the line. They decided not to. And Golden Fast wins the Monaco Grand Prix. And GSR Joe finishes in a P6 situation. Only 5 cars weren't lapped in this Grand Prix. and it is Monaco. You kind of expect that. But Joe Pilkey coming through to get P2 by looks, as long as he doesn't bottle it through the last couple of corners, which is something that Joe would do, so we have to keep an eye out for this, in fact. As he comes around the final corner, is Joe going to bottle it? He almost did. I'll give him that. He almost did bottle that. But at the end of the day, he gets in some solid points and comes home in P2. Tomcat with some damage there, gets P3 in the end. And makes a train with more damage. Gets P3 in the end because Tomcat gets a penalty or something. He's dropping down the field here. Stealth gets P4. And that's going to be the end of Tomcat's run. Going downwards. As Phivius Deuce also across the line now. Guns AI mode. So the points he scores here is irrelevant. And Grifter LSR is in fact going to get P8 in this Grand Prix. Not P9 because Gunnar Gimmer was AI. He'll be disqualified for that. So Grifter come home in P8. Good job by Grifter, who showed us his start as well, so that's cool from him. This is all the penalties which are going on. Tell me guys if you like the POVs being showed. Some of the cars have got really loud stuff and you probably can't even hear me over the top of them, but I'm sure they'll sort that out themselves if they feel it is necessary, and more clips will be used from them in the future. As plenty of pit stops coming through as well. Should we have a look at the race strategy from a couple of the drivers? Good to only... Well, we had a lot of drivers here today, but only one penalty, 2 penalties for Gordon Fast, and one of them was a stop-go, which he served in the pit. So to be fair, Gordon Fast was doing alright with penalties. A few penalties there for the young man himself by Joe Pilkey. Mexican kept it rather clean. Stealth got a penalty early on, and a penalty later on as well. Tomcat's next up with 2 penalties? 3 penalties. Tomcat, why are you getting the penalties for? It's not worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.